Hey YouTube, it's Naim Nappy and I'm back for another Tip Tuesday. So this week I'm going to be talking about using grease in your regimen, either greasing your scalp or greasing your hair. And the reason I'm doing this is because I've seen this resurgence of using grease on Facebook and Instagram, of all these naturals returning back to using grease. And so I thought it'd be great to address the use of grease in your regimen. What are the ingredients in grease? What happens when you use it on your scalp? What happens when you use it in your hair? And some tips if you are doing so. And then finally, my thoughts about whether I would use grease in my regimen. All right, so first let's go and talk about the ingredients in grease. So generally the first ingredient is petrolatum or mineral oil. Okay, now petrolatum is actually a byproduct of refined petroleum. Now petroleum is a colorless and odorless product that is made from the earth, is taken from the earth, and is great for providing a protective barrier or sealant over preventing moisture loss or preventing moisture from getting in. So it can be used commonly in hair care products and sometimes in like skin elements. So let's say you had a cut, you would put that on to protect anything from attaching or getting into your skin. So unfortunately, one of the issues I have with petroleum in the United States is that we don't have any regulations regarding the refinement of petroleum. So for instance, the EU regulates petroleum, stating that any cosmetic use, so for skincare or hair care, there must be a history shown of its complete refinement process, and it must be proved to be non-carcinogenic or non-cancerous. In the United States, there are no refinement requirements for the use in skincare or hair care products. Now, the thing about that is, unrefined petroleum can contain polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons or PAHs, and those are actually known carcinogenics, and that means that it's cancerous for us. So if we don't know the refinement process of the petroleum that we're using, we don't know if it contains cancerous products or not. However, the only way that we know that product of petroleum that is good or okay for use is petroleum that is called white petroleum. That is the most refined petroleum, and if you see it in the product, it should be okay for use. And if it's shown on their website, then it should be okay to use. And I said should be because that is supposed to be the most refined petroleum, and that means it should be okay for cosmetic use on your body. Okay, so if you are using grease, I would definitely check either the back of the product or the website to see if you can find its refinement history, to find out how well this petroleum is refined. And again, it may or may not be the case, as in the United States, there is no refinement requirements. So when we use petroleum or grease on our scalp, we're actually clogging the pores. We have open pores on our scalp. And when we do that, we actually are clogging them because petroleum is thick and it is used as a barrier, right? So it prevents any moisture from getting in, and it prevents any moisture from getting out. I realize our scalp is the only thing that's technically alive in our hair. And by adding petroleum, something so thick, and clogging it, our scalp cannot breathe, and it attracts dirt, gunk, and different things from the environment to our hair, providing the worst barrier that I personally think the worst barrier that you can have in blocking out moisture. And the only way to remove the grease from your scalp is by shampooing it. And that way you're able to unclog the pores, you allow your pores to breathe. So you guys do not want to clog your pores if you're looking to maximize your hair growth, okay? So next, if you decide you want to use petroleum on your hair, right? You're like, okay, well, it's a great sealant. I have some suggestions for you. If you're using it on your hair, you want to use it again as the last step or as the sealant in your process, in your moisturization process. So you'll use it hypothetically after wash day where your hair is wet. You've moisturized your hair with whatever leave-in, whatever cream, whatever products you're doing, and then you would seal it in, okay? And you would just use a little bit, a light, minimal bit, because grease spreads and is very, very heavy. It can easily weigh down your strands. So my issue with grease and using it even as the sealant in the process is that most of us like to re-moisturize our hair sometime at some point midweek, right? Whether it's day 2 or day 3 after you wash your hair. Now, again, we learned that grease is a sealant, is a barrier that cannot be broken. Moisture cannot get in and moisture cannot get out. However, if you're trying to re-moisturize your hair, that water or that moisturizer, that leave-in is actually not penetrating your hair strand. It cannot get back to moisturize your hair. So a lot of times people who are using it are finding that their hair is dry and brittle over time. So maybe not the first week, maybe not the second week, but you keep using it over and over again, you may find that your hair is not remaining moisturized. And the only way to break that barrier, again, is by using a clarifying shampoo. Which just kind of makes sense why that worked for our parents in the past, is because they literally will wash, shampoo, and then grease your hair, right? So as long as you're shampooing your hair very regularly, you might find that that's fine. But some people who constantly use clarifier or sulfate shampoo find that their hair becomes drier over time. So, you know, that's my word of caution if you're going to use it on your hair, but I will say use it sparingly, because I know some people it works perfectly for them in their regimen. Now, would I personally use it? And I'm going to say no, and I'm going to give you 3 reasons. No, because I have fine strands and my hair is easily weighed down by heavy products. And number 2, there are better products out there that I don't have to worry about whether they're fully refined or not, like shea butter and mango butter and cocoa butter, right? And they provide a nice barrier, but also if I need to rehydrate my hair midweek, I don't have to shampoo my hair, or I don't have to worry about if moisture is reaching my strands and my strands are hydrated. And third, I have low porosity hair, and I do not need anything that's gonna further impede my ability to add moisture to my hair. With low porosity hair, I already struggle to get moisture into my hair. I do not need to then add a sealant barrier of that particular type in which nothing can penetrate it, except for, you know, washing your hair again. So no, I don't use it. I've tried it out before early on in my journey, and my hair just was not accepting it and thriving with it. But let me know in the comment sections down below if you do use it in your regimen. Also, I'm curious, what type of hair do you have? Do you have coarse hair? Do you have medium hair? Do you have fine hair? How do you use it in your regimen? And do you feel like your hair is successfully thriving with it? If you don't use it, share in the comment section down below why maybe you would never try it, or maybe why you're maybe open to trying it. I love to hear your comments, and additionally I have more information about grease on my blog post, so I'll leave that in the description box for you guys. And I briefly have to just address the change of scenery currently, because I'm actually at my sister's house and I just felt like, you know, let me get this video out for y'all. So that's why you see my new scenery. I'll be back next week at my regular location. But again, you guys, if you have any questions, leave them down below, and I'll see you guys next time. All right, bye.